Oh, I am on. I'm trying to do some other stuff. Yeah. So it is October 5th, 2023, and I actually titled this one Overwhelmed. I don't really have a topic, so to speak, today. And, but I have been feeling overwhelmed. I think I mentioned earlier. Fuck. Whatever. We'll deal with that later. But yeah, overwhelmed. I talked about it earlier that I do have a couple things that I need to do in order to get everything going for my Amazon, uh, putting my coffee on the Amazon platform. Really happy about that. But I'm overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, what do I need to do next? I need to go to Amazon. Okay, I already got this done. All right, I need to talk to the bagging people to make sure we can get the label kind of get going and all that stuff. And then, all right, what about the logistics of this, that? I haven't figured this out yet. And then, blah, 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 blah. And then all the stuff that I'm currently doing right now in general with coffee. It's a lot. It really is. So that's one of the things that I am thinking about all the time and lately and where to really start. And I will start soon. I do need to purchase a couple bags of coffee that's around town that I can kind of get an idea of what the back of the bag looks like, and so I can have a good idea of what I need to put on it and do it locally and also for Amazon. But yeah, so that's what I got going. Um yeah. Also overwhelming part about my website, making sure I have sections for podcast, for video, for blogs, um, getting rid of my subscription service because it's going to be really expensive soon. I don't have any subscriptions yet. And yeah, so trying to make it perfect, but it can't be perfect because, that's just the way things are, because it's best just to get started and then you'll modify from there. That's at least my approach right now. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I need to go into a direction. Tired. That makes sense. So yeah, so coffee. That's why I'm here, right? I'm talking about coffee. I will say this, I am not 100% sold yet on changing the temperature up right now on my kettle to 200 degrees, 199, 200 degrees from what it was before, which was 193. But the coffee is tasting a lot better. It really is. So I'm going to try a couple more different coffees and then we shall see how that works. But I think I'll probably do this for another mm, two, 2 months. This month, next month, and then I'll do 205. And then we'll make our conclusion from there. But I think 200 is the sweet spot. So yeah, that's interesting. I still have not touched the Hamilton Beach, the scoop, whatever it's called. It's a piece of crap. It's a garbage. But yeah, so that's what I got going right now. don't have really much to say. There's a lot of logistics. There's a lot of things that I need to just start working on, and also helping out with the family here and there and doing what I can. That's the part that's very it's a lot of work. And of course you want to chill, relax a little bit and do other hobbies of interest that you do have. So yeah, coffee. That's what I'm up to with. And it's interesting watching, looking at different vendors on Amazon and seeing what they're charging. But I have to remember that I'm not doing it the way they're doing it. And there's a lot of things that I need to start to implement. So to show people the difference in what I'm trying to do. And then my brother gave me this crazy challenge. I can talk about that right now. I think that's worth talking about because it's something that what I'm looking to actually do, you kind of understand what it looks like. But what it is that he challenged me, told me, he was like, hey, okay, why don't you try to see if you can have just 3 bags of coffee, 3 types of coffees, and see how that works. Currently, I have about 10 different coffees. That's a lot, actually. Some in smaller bags compared to others, but I have more than three. And just thinking about that logistically and what that may look like and how I will have to change the makeup of what makes sense, But something about that is challenging, it's appealing, and it's very, rewarding. Of course I'll see what makes sense in the blend. Um, those coffees will of course be presented as single origin coffees. But yeah, so I need to ask him actually why he gave me that challenge. I'm gonna totally do it, but it makes it easier for me, push things, get things out there, and I can really like master those coffees, in big bag form. And then from time to time, I can get a smaller bag to see where that goes. But I know for sure South American coffee, I'll call it brown coffee, like diner coffee, coffee that everybody, mostly everybody loves. It's not offensive. I think later on I'll talk about my approach to coffee, which will be interesting, I think. Now it's changed over time, but I have a brown coffee, a red coffee, and probably a yellow coffee. Those are more so like the fruits that I'm going for. So red coffee would be like a strawberry, cherry, red fruit type of coffee. That could be a Colombian. The other one is, of course, either Brazilian or Mexican that has those nice chocolatey, nutty type of flavors. Uh, a yellow coffee. I would say that's more so like an orange coffee, but orange it just doesn't move. Not as much. If that's a single origin like I have right now with my Honduras coffee, people if they have it the first time, they don't go back to it. It's I wouldn't say that it's harsh. If I roast it in that in the later stages of the roast, and I roast it slowly, like kind of bake it a little bit, it does lose a lot of the edge off of that coffee, which I believe will be more approachable, presentable to people, you know. That's how my espresso is too. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that really comes together and how that works. But that's a good challenge, and I think that's something, especially for who and what I'm trying to go for, how that really matters. And then eventually I can also, change it up from time to time, different different varieties, or what's the best way to say this? Like pop-ups, or, something to the extent to where it's a short duration, short phase that that's only there for a limited time. That'd be cool. I think that'll be really cool and fascinating once I get to that part, because I think I'll get there relatively quickly. But yeah, so that's what I got going. That's what I'm thinking about. And I think that'll be actually a lot of fun. I can still do that with some of my royal coffees, and just play around with that, and then see how that works for everybody. But that's it, I guess. Short, sweet, still plenty of things to do today, but we'll work it out. And I hope to have the website up and running with all the stuff that I need on it. So then I can start to like post, create, post, create, post, create, post, add a couple different layers to the website, but that will come more as I tweak and have fun with all of this. So yeah, so I will talk to you later. Short and sweet.